Hey, Adam,
Jeez,
one
why,
thing.
why do you think they called bumpers, Gary?
I don't know.
Because they come at the beginning, at the end, like bumpers.
Alex, you're a marketing guy. Do you like that design behind Paul? Does that logo thing look pretty cool to you?
Hey, I forgot to hit the record button.
Yeah, that's really professional, isn't it?
Well, this is a professional podcast.
I met her in a parking lot and was handed 2 little Yorkies. And the only person I knew that knew Yorkies was Paul. So I called Paul and said, Paul.
Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education and Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. Find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and SoundCloud and subscribe today. Now it's time to get started with Sweet Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sweet Talk. I am your host, Angela Wilhelm, filling in for Paul Dickey, who is out for work. Today, joining us as our guest co-host is our extraordinary student, co-worker here, Megan Cleveland. Hopefully she'll edit that little tidbit out. So Megan is one of our video coordinating students here at Sweet. She's fantastic. Welcome, Megan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Angie. How are you?
Good. I'm doing really well. I'm very excited. Today we have a special guest on. We have Beixy Shepard with Beixy's Kitchen. Welcome, Beixy. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Angie and Megan. Thank you so much for the invitation. Well, a little bit about me. I'm from Venezuela. I've been in the United States since 2000. Right now, I have a full-time job working with Idaho Central Credit Union as a loan officer. And this year, we create Beixy's Kitchen. It is a catering service, but we also have a food truck. And we serve basically Venezuelan food. We started with Venezuelan empanadas, and we're gonna improve and add more stuff to the menu in the next couple months.
That's very exciting. Thank you so much for joining us, Beixy. So what led you to opening a food truck?
Well, that one we have to say thank you to my husband. So when I start dating him, of course, I want to impress him with food, and that's how you get to a man's heart. And I start making Venezuelan empanadas, which he completely loved it. But if you know the process, it is a lot of work to make them. So I will make them probably like 3 or 4 times a year, just for birthdays, special occasion. And this year, we were just talking about what we want to do for our future, how we can get, extra income, just some passive income. And he was like, well, it may not be too passive, but how about if we start a food truck? We haven't seen anything like that kind of empanadas in this area. So I think it will be a really good idea to start something. And I was like, well, let me just think about it. I mean, I have a full-time job, and I'm 44 years old. I don't know if I want to, start, a new business. And one day he was like, okay, did you think about it? I was like, yes, you know what? Yes, let's do it. Let's just do it. Well, 2 weeks later, I had a truck in my driveway. This guy got in Facebook and everything and looked for a food truck. And 2 weeks later, we find like an ice cream truck. And we basically build up the truck from zero. And this week we have our license. We have a local artist who is gonna paint the truck. And that's how the whole thing started.
Oh, that is awesome. So speaking of the empanadas, how do you incorporate the diversity of the different flavors into them, and how do you kind of make them unique?
So you will find, and this is what kind of find out talking to people the last couple months, it's when you say empanadas, people think about sweet. Think about sweet turnover, pineapple, apple pie, with those kind of fillings. Well, in South America, we use savory fillings. And I'm always been a person that, I don't know how to explain this, but I eat with my brain. Like my food have to look good, have good texture, has to have a good flavor. I mean, I need to experience all my sense when I'm eating. So something that I particularly like a lot, it's the combination of sweetness and savory and, all of the combinations of different flavors. So my mom, she was the one who started making these empanadas with a little bit of sugar in the dough. And you have the savory of the beef and the pork and the chicken. And she come up with this sauce. Well, she didn't come up, but we have this sauce in Venezuela. She just makes some twist on it. So when you take that bite of this pre-cooked cornmeal sweet dough with a savory, full of flavored chicken or pork or beef, and you put the sauce, this has a little bit of acidity on it. It's just when the magic happened. So
I have a question for you, Beixy. We have tasted your empanadas here at Sweets. They are amazing, but I have not really eaten Venezuelan food before I tried your empanadas. They are so good and not really what I was expecting. They were so much more flavorful than what I personally was expecting. How has the reaction to your food been throughout the Southeast Idaho community so far?
exactly that reaction. People don't expect it. People expect or something sweet, which I make sure when I have events or something, I have pictures of my food. So people know what they're gonna get. And of course, I always like to talk about it. It's important to people to know what this product means to us. And it's just not the product, but it's a creation and what it means to us. The reaction, it's always, it's that I didn't expect that much flavor. And the flavor that comes behind it is because we have to cook the meat 24 hours. Basically, it's a slow cook, and it has to sit for 24 hours to get that, concentrate that flavor. And we make the empanadas the day after. So that's why you have that meat that has so much flavor.
Wow, that is awesome. They're really good too.
Thank you.
So have you always enjoyed cooking, or was it kind of a recent thing that you started doing, or has it been kind of always a part of your life?
So growing up, we have get-togethers every Sunday. So I come from a very big family, and it wasn't I get together, I will send you an invitation. No, everybody will show up on Sunday. So we knew my mom would cook a lot that day, and just watching her doing it, we learned how to love. We knew that food was comforting, having the family around and having a good time. Always cook. I always like to host at my house and, get-togethers with friends and family. And COVID happened. So we were sent to work from home. And that was the time that my kids, right now they are 21 and 22, they move out of the house. So I was an empty nester, dealing with a pandemic. I'm a social person. I have to be around people. It was just hard for me. So when I have to find ways how I can come from myself and learning something new, I start cooking. And every single time that we cook something, we post the recipe, and we put a hashtag, Beixy's Kitchen. And that's how the whole thing is started. Because I got people who say, yeah, you Instagram is like the food channel. You need a recipe, you just go over there and see what you can find. And it were easy recipes, things that you can make in half an hour. I mean, I was making something that you can make in 20 minutes to have a whole 5-course dinner with seafood, And I start with the hashtag. And that's when I met my husband in that year. And he graduated from ISU in 2005 to 2006, business management. So he's the business guy. I'm the one who cooks. So here I am cooking, and he was like, well, but we can make this a business. Like, no. Like, I just want to cook. Let me enjoy this. And the Instagram grew, and with the Facebook, and that's how people started looking at my food, and the idea came from that.
Now, I can tell you with talking with Beixy, her food is selling out everywhere she goes. She's there and then it's gone, right? Like she's had such a good welcome to this kind of world of food trucks, especially we do have some people in town who have food trucks from their own cultural origin. But you came here in 2020 as an immigrant. You are now in the midst of a pandemic in 2020. So that's 20 years you're here, then you're in a pandemic. You decide you're going to start this food truck. What are some of the obstacles that you faced along the way?
So the first one, and I can tell you this one right out of the back, was finding a kitchen. This community, you have a lot of small business, right? But we don't have the tools to create the business, which to create a business in a safe way. And it's having a kitchen, that was one of the things that it stopped me for a minute. I was like, yes, I do want a food truck, but in the meantime, I just want to bring the product up there so people can get to know it, get to know what empanada is. Like when I bring my truck, people recognize, okay, I remember I have those empanadas before. So it was a little bit of marketing that we have to do in the back end. And it was funding the kitchen. And I was like, well, yes, we're going to have the truck, but also we want to do catering. And at that point, we needed looking, somebody say, hey, you should contact ISU. They have a really nice kitchen. They work with some local businesses. So how about if you contact them? And I talked to Tara Jones, and I can tell you, this has been a blessing, because since I got into this kitchen, the business just took off after that. So I would say tools like a kitchen, and for me, basically, that was my only problem is starting, just finding that place.
Well, I'm very, very glad that we could help you with that. What she's referring to is a commercial kitchen space we have here at ISU. And we have used that commercial kitchen space to help small cottage kitchens launch themselves when they really don't have the resources to have a shareable commercial kitchen that they can afford within the community. So it's a launch pad for people to start until they have something else. So we have just a couple of people in that kitchen right now. They are all female business owners. So we're very, very glad that we could help you in that way. I'm very happy that was your only setback. I know it can be really difficult to find a business or start a business for many people in our community. Now it does require a mix of culinary skill to get this food truck up and going. You've already talked about how your husband is kind of the backbone of the business end of it. Can you give any advice to any aspiring, whether men or women or whatnot, anyone that's aspiring to open a cottage kitchen or a food truck? What advice would you give them?
Get the information before you even start. Before we even decide to register the business, we create a 2 years business plan. We want to make sure that we were set up for success from the beginning. And I'm not talking about success that we're going to sold out every single time and we're going to, no, I'm talking about that we were going to start a dream. And if it didn't work, we weren't going to end up in so much debt after, which is so important right now, especially after the pandemic. A lot of things change, how you get a loan and all those kind of things. It is more difficult, and it's a reason why. But make your plan first. How do you want to do your business? Have your business plan. Get around, just stay around people that they were successful and they can give you a good advice. And that is the great thing about this community. I've been talking with people like Idaho Coffee Company, Smoking Butts, Wild Noodle Barbecue, and it's the support that they give to each other. And they always call me and say, hey, Beixy, you should maybe do this. And come and let's just do something together. Our first pop-up was an Idaho Coffee with Poke Pretzel cart, empanadas, coffee, and pretzel. Who we thought? And we were sold out like in an hour and a half. So it doesn't matter what product. You can have 20 trucks of the same item, but each item it's unique. It's the support of each owner give to other business, which is so important. And it doesn't have to be just in the food industry. I got support from every single business, even from the dog groomer, it is a local business and it's how we support each other.
Well, thank you. We are running out of time here. We only have a few minutes left. Before we wrap up, I'd really love to give you an opportunity, Beixy, to talk about where people can find your food and where they'll be able to find your food once your truck is out in the community. Can you let people know where to follow you on social media, where to find your food, and then where they may find your food truck?
So we already have a website. It's www.beicyskitchen.com. Right there, you're going to find a truck locator where we're going to post all the events that are coming in. Also, you have a link for our Facebook and Instagram. Our next event is going to be July 29th at 3 p.m. And the Lookout Point, we are supporting the second cornhole tournament for the businesswomen of Pocatello. So it's going to be a family fun day. Bring your kids. There's going to be a lot of activities. And we're going to have a few other events in the future. Just check our website and all the information. It's going to be there.
Thank you so much. And can you spell out that website for people who may not know the exact spelling?
Yes. So it's www.B as in boy, EIXYS kitchen, KITCHEN.com.
We are so happy to have you as a guest, Beixy. Thank you so much. Megan, thank you for co-hosting with me. I very much need to learn a little bit more from Paul, but I like having the opportunity to host when he is out. If you are interested in anything from SWEET or continuing education or workforce training at Idaho State University, you can see us at cetrain.isu.edu. You can also call us at 208-282-3372. And we do have culinary art classes available this fall if you'd like to sign up for some. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to our podcast. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all again, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.